Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here with the mega news that came out today. We don't get a lot of chance to talk about, wrestling news that much anymore, but when something big comes along that I want to talk about, make sure I put it on the front page here. But Hulk Hogan may come out of retirement to face Ric Flair. Everybody remembers about a month ago, Ric Flair put out a video of him training with Jay Lethal inside of a garage, wrestling around, showing that he could do this and say he wanted to get in the ring one more time. It has been announced that I guess there's going to be a show at Starrcast where Ric Flair is going to wrestle one more match. It's been announced also out there that they went to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who turned down the match. I don't know if it was due to money or maybe Ricky Steamboat's pride, just basically knowing that he's not going to be able to deliver a match that lives up to this. But he just turned it down. So Flair's out there looking for somebody else to do it. I honestly was thinking that Ric Flair versus Black Machismo, Jay Lethal. I thought that would have been a match that maybe they could have pulled this off. This isn't WrestleMania. I know that Ric Flair had one of the best retirements of all time, and I'm not really trying to say anything negative about Flair or Hogan or even Starrcast, because Starrcast is an event that I've been jealous that I have not been able to go to for, I believe, the last 4 Starrcasts that they pulled off with Chicago, Las Vegas, and wherever the other ones have been. I think there's been 2 of them in Chicago. But it's always been a convention that I've always wanted to go to. I thought about going to SummerSlam already when it was announced that they were having a show in Nashville. I thought the Nashville would be a fun city to go to see a show. And maybe if I saw some live wrestling, that would kind of hype me up to get more back into WWE the way I was a few years ago. And then they announced Starrcast, and I started thinking about it a little more. I never really put, pen to paper to plan this thing out. Maybe if I would have friends that would want to go with me, maybe this trip would already be lock, stocked, and there it is. But Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair, I don't think it entices me to go to Starrcast or, the SummerSlam weekend more than I am right now. I think that maybe even honestly it takes it back a step. But like I said a minute ago, I believe Ric Flair wrestled his last match in a 6-man with Hulk Hogan on a UK tour over in the UK for TNA. I think that was both of their last matches. If not, I can't be off by more than 1 or 2. But, for Ric Flair to wrestle his last match, I don't even know how big of a show. I'm guessing it's Starrcast. It's probably going to be on Fight. But it can't be that big of a show. In my mind, it's not going to be all in. It's not going to be, it might even be comparable, I guess you can say, like the High Spots, WrestleMania show. They run along with WrestleCon every year. That's always a real fun to go to. But to think that Ric Flair is going to have his last match there, I guess Jake the Snake Roberts wrestled his last match for PWG, if you look back at that. But it's just really kind of surprising to me. Hulk Hogan, hell of a career. It's always sort of been rumored Hogan would come back and do one more WrestleMania, whether if it was against Vince McMahon, against John Cena, finding a way to put him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal to make sure that he got one more moment in the sun. But the one thing I always remember about Hogan is he talks about every single time he gets in the ring, he gets banged up, he gets bruised, he's old. I think he might be 69. I think he's 69. I don't think he's 70. Flair is plus 70 at this time. But I know that it's pretty much like he knows he's going to have to go get fixed up again. Everything that is right with his body is going to be wrong. He's going to hurt his hip. He's going to hurt his back. He's going to hurt his knees. It's just the way that Hogan's body is. And, that surgery after surgery after surgery. And I'm sure this is going to be a show Conrad's going to pay him well. But is he going to pay him well enough to basically cover those surgeries to get fixed up to live the last part of his life 100% right? I understand why they want to do it. I just don't know if it's going to be beneficiary to the wrestling fans and Is that really the way that they want to go out? If you go back, you look at the Hulkamania tour, Hogan versus Flair, all over Australia. They went down there because Australia doesn't get a lot of live wrestling. They normally draw a lot of live gates. If you look at the end of WCW, they went down there. They had huge monster shows, still found a way to lose money. If the Hogan Hulkamania tour in Australia made money, I'm guaranteeing you it paid the wrestlers, it paid Hogan, it paid Flair. I would doubt anybody else made any money off of those shows. Australia doesn't get a lot of live wrestling. I remember at the time watching people talk about those shows on YouTube, and I didn't really see a lot of good reviews on those shows. They had guys like Val Venus, they had guys like Rikishi, Von Erich's daughter, I can't remember her name. They had some people that were like independent stars that got a little bit of rub from going over there. Some other 90s stars at the time. I don't think anybody from TNA went on those shows, but it wasn't good wrestling. It just wasn't. Hogan versus Flair, maybe if we would have saw it at WrestleMania 8 back in the day, you go back and you watch those house shows that are on Peacock, on the WWE Network on there, I think they're better than a lot of people put them over for. I think that it was a house show. I know they did, Boston Garden, Madison Square Garden, Cow Palace. I'm sure other shows, Los Angeles probably got this. And they say they didn't draw. But those guys, when they went in the ring, they give you what they got. It's their catalog of wrestling. But they don't go over the top because it's not WrestleMania. It's not SummerSlam. They know they're not drawing a pay-per-view gate, and they got to get you there. If they give you that 5-star match, you might not buy the pay-per-view because you might be walking away saying you already saw it. But if Flair, cheats, Hogan gets counted out, maybe you're stepping back to the table being like, man, I got to see this because I got to see a winner. We'll see what happens here. I'll tell you the truth. I don't want anything bad for either one of these guys, so I hope this match happens, and I hope it's bigger than I think it is. But I go into this match with, I don't want to say my regrets. That's not the right word I'm looking for, but, I got this thing in my mind saying, man, I don't think this is going to go right, I guess you can say. So we'll have to see what happens. Hogan versus Flair. Starrcast. Flair's first match. Is it going to happen?